It's a very key hearing in the Supreme Court today in the Court of the Chief Justice of India on the Rafale controversy. Now, if anybody was expecting a quick solution to this controversy, then quite clearly on the basis of what we'll tell you now, the answer to that would be no, that there are going to be further hearings of the Supreme Court. In fact, in a couple of weeks from now, when the Supreme Court will ultimately decide which way this entire controversy goes. Now, the key points as far as those which have come up in the Supreme Court, the government has been asked by the Supreme Court to submit pricing details in 10 days in a sealed envelope. Earlier, the Supreme Court had said that in their previous hearing that they did not want details on suitability or the utility of the Rafale aircraft. That remains the case, the Supreme Court has reiterated today. But on the earlier occasion, they had wanted details of procedure. Now, that was submitted in a sealed envelope by the government. Today, the Supreme Court has said that over and above that, they want the government to submit pricing details in 10 days. Very significantly, the Supreme Court reportedly wants details on the selection of the Indian partner. Now, in this case, the Indian partner, as far as the joint venture partner is concerned, is the Anil Ambani group, the Anil Ambani Reliance Defence Group. So, perhaps the Supreme Court will want details on the procedure which was selected in Dassault selecting the Anil Ambani Reliance Defence Group as its joint venture partner. Needless to mention, there are several other partners who are also involved, offset partners as they are known in this particular deal. There is no immediate observation on whether or not procedure was followed in the deal or not. So as far as a verdict, an order, a statement, a judgment on whether or not the government had done something wrong in the selection of 36 aircraft from a procedure standpoint, there is no verdict or no order on that as yet. The government can, however, file an affidavit that pricing details are exclusive and cannot be shared. Now, this is very much the crux of the argument as far as the opposition is concerned. The opposition has always argued that the Rafale aircraft being procured by India now are many times more expensive than the aircraft that they were negotiating to build in India. The government has said, no, in fact, the deal they've secured now means that the jets which are being acquired are in fact cheaper than what would have been the case had they been manufactured by Hindustan Aeronautics. The government has also said that they cannot reveal details of the pricing because the government believes it's secret. Now, the Supreme Court has said that if that is what you believe, then that argument that pricing details are secret need to be filed as an affidavit and shared with the Supreme Court in the form of an affidavit. Now, very importantly, classified information on aspects of this deal cannot be shared by the petitioners. If details are to be shared with the petitioners, the Supreme Court has said that all of this needs to be in the public sphere, then in the public domain, in terms of information which can be shared with the petitioners. And to the request that a CBI probe needs to be initiated to look into the Rafale deal, the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice said that there is no order on an immediate CBI probe. So, in terms of where we stand, it's very much in process in the Supreme Court. There are, remember, a clutch of petitions which have been heard, which have been brought to the attention of the Supreme Court. Let's listen in to one of the key petitioners, Arun Shori, in this case.
You brought in this offset, how this offset partner was brought in?
So these details will have to share with you also?
With us also.
But,
and when the Attorney General said that no, some of these are confidential, so he said, okay, redact those portions, remove those portions, you can black out those portions, but give us both copies, the completely detailed statement and what you have given these. That means we will see whether what you have blacked out is actually something that should be kept from the public or not. When the Attorney General said, oh sir, this is the matter, price is confidential, they said you say that in an affidavit.
So it means has it not been diluted?
No. On the contrary, he said you say that on the affidavit. Government will find it impossible to say it on affidavit. Why? Because Parikar already disclosed the price. Correct. He said 90,000 crores for 126 aircraft, that is 715 crores per aircraft. Secondly, the Minister of State on the floor of the House answered a question saying it is 670 per aircraft. Third, this Dassault and Reliance have already disclosed the price.
So government will have to disclose no other way.
No, just one second. Third, they have disclosed it in their annual financial statements and annual report. And fourth, they know Attorney General, I hope, is properly briefed that the confidentiality clause relates only to technical specifications, not to the price. And therefore, President Macron, when he came here, he said this is entirely up to the Indians as to how much they want to disclose. So, how will he say on this?
So next hearing will be very interesting probably.
Because and he's given them only 10 days to give us the information. Then he's given us 1 week to reply. No problem.
Thank you, sir. All the best.
Thank you.
So, that was Arun Shori saying that government will have to disclose the price, even if they file an affidavit, it won't be easy for them. In New Delhi, Arunachalam Vaidyanathan, NDTV.